Welcome everyone, my name's James Felino and I'm here from Yati Yoga. Welcome to our beginners program. You've now completed the first 5 videos and now we're going to be commencing the next 5 videos, which is really understanding about the yoga asanas. So what we're going to do over the next few videos is I'm going to show you different yoga asanas. We're going to go through the yoga asanas so that after these 5 videos, when we actually start our yoga classes, we'll have a very good understanding of what the yoga poses are and where you should be feeling those yoga poses. So come along and let's start with our yoga practice. So look, for the first one, we're going to start seated. So hopefully you've got your mats ready. And a lot of yoga starts in a cross-legged position, which is like so. We're going to bring our forearms to our knees with our palms facing up to the sky. You want to keep a nice straight spine. You want to pull your tummies in and just sticking your chest out and shoulders back. And just to sit in this position here, which could also even be a meditation position. This is called easy pose. Going on from easy pose, we can move into one which doesn't mean that we have to move too much. It's actually called cobbler's pose. The cobbler's pose is when you bring your feet in front of you together. Again, keeping a straight spine. What we're going to do is you can also with your hands grab onto your feet, and then it's about bringing your body forward and really trying to bring your body as low as possible, head as well. Feeling it through your groin, also through your lower spine. And then slowly bringing your body back up. So that one there is called cobbler's pose. Remembering that with any of the poses that we do, we're not holding our breath. We're just trying to breathe nice and calmly through the postures. We're going to stand up now. And the third one that we're going to do is mountain pose. So again, sometimes a teacher may ask you to start the class standing up. If they do ask you to start the class standing up, there's a fair chance that the first asana will be our mountain pose. We're standing feet together. You're turning your quad muscles on. So leg muscles are turned on. Your tummy's pulled in, your chest is out, your body's nice and straight. You bring your hands to the side of your body, palms facing forward, straight spine, and just breathing through. From our mountain pose, we can move on to a raised hands pose. So normally after a mountain pose, they may ask you to raise your hands, bringing your hands up above your head, palms together. And then this is called our raised hands pose. Okay, so there's a few of some of the early asanas that we do to commence a class. We'll move on a little bit now, and I'm just going to show you another pose here, which is called tabletop. Now, tabletop is very much a transitional pose in yoga. We tend to move into different asanas from a tabletop position. So I'll just explain our tabletop. Main thing is that your feet are flat on the floor. Your knees are directly under your hips. Your wrists are directly under your shoulders. We're not trying to round our spine. We're not trying to arch our spine. We're just trying to keep a very neutral spine. And then just breathe in nice and slowly from here. And breathe. Now, from our tabletop, we can move into our upward and downward dog sequence. So very simply, your feet turn up, your knees lift up, and then you come into a downward dog position. Now, downward dog is a very common pose in yoga. We'll have a look at the technique. Your toes are slightly turned in, your heels are slightly turned out. The goal is to try and push your heels to the earth to really open up the back chain of your body, posterior chain. Your palms are flat on the floor. Your fingers are spread apart. Your elbows are turned in and you're pushing your hips back towards your heels. So really pushing back to create a nice, long, straight spine. Now that's your downward dog, sorry. Your upward dog, when we transition through it, so sometimes people get mixed up with their upward dog and their cobra. We're going to look at both of them now. So from a downward dog, what you would do, it's a little bit more advanced. You'd come forward to a plank, you'd drop it down, you'd hold your body weight here, you'd release your toes, and you'd do your upward dog where your thighs are off the ground. Knees down, and let's bring it back. We'll have a look at the other way where you can move into a cobra. So the cobra is from a downward dog, you'd move forward into your plank, you drop your body all the way down to the ground, turn feet flat, and then lift up into a cobra. Cobra probably has slightly more bend in the elbow. The back can't come up as high, but there's less pressure through the lower part of your body. So that's for your cobra. Now, some people struggle to get into that cobra position, but what we say from a downward dog, what would normally happen, we'd go to a downward dog, to a tabletop, and then we drop our body down where we go knee, chest, chin. So let's have a look at that. So we're in downward dog. Instead of coming through to plank, we're going to drop our knees to the ground, and then we go chest, chin, pull your body through and up for your cobra. Okay, so as you can see, there is your upward dog, downward dog, a bit more physical, keeping the thighs off the ground. And then there's that downward dog where you can go downward dog, tabletop, knee, chest, chin, pull the body through and come through to your cobra. With the beginners, what we'll do, we'd start with our knee, chest, chin and come into the cobra. And then as we progress and get stronger, we'll move into our full upward dog, downward dog. Okay, so moving on from there, another pose that we tend to do quite a bit in yoga is our child's pose. It is a resting position. It's a position where if it's getting a little bit tiresome, the class, and you just want to take a few moments out, you can come into your child's pose. Again, from a tabletop position, quite simply, it's bringing your hips back to your heels, extending those arms forward, elbows down, forehead down. And just taking comfortable breaths here, just to try and bring your heart rate down and bring some more calmness back to your body. Child's pose. So another one that we can look at is if we come and we stand back up. Now, before what we did see our mountain pose, and we also saw our raised hands pose. From our raised hands pose, we can move into another pose called chair. I'll do it side on because it's a better angle for you to see me. Mountain pose, raised hands pose, keeping this time your hands slightly spread apart, bringing your right foot shoulder width apart. From here, you're going to bring your bottoms down. So you're not bringing knees forward, you're bringing bottom back, trying to keep, again, a nice, strong, straight spine. If you're to look down, you should be able to see your toes just on top of, coming out from your knees. Arms are up, eyes are facing forward, and this is chair pose. Putting pressure and tension through your quadricep muscles. From chair pose, you can come back up and then bring your arms down. We're going to go back to the floor now and we're going to look at another pose for our groins. We did cobbler's pose earlier, and now this is another one which is called frog pose. Again, depending on the tightness of your groins, you'll have a different amount of movement compared to other people. So don't be too concerned about them, just be worried about yourself. Very simply, this one, you're bringing your knees out to the side And then once your knees are out to the side, you're turning your feet. So my feet are facing inside of my foot, flat onto the earth, inside of my foot, flat onto the earth. From here, your hands are in front of you, and you'll find when you bring your hips back, that's when the tension increases. You can come down to your elbows, and then it's just about trying to push your hips to your heels. Feel that tension. Stay here and just breathe through it. And a common saying that we have in yoga is time under tension. So the longer that you can stay here, the more effect that your body will get at opening up through your inner groin. Also, as you progress, your knees may be able to come out a bit further, which will ultimately bring your hips down lower to the ground. From frog pose, what we're going to do, we're going to come back into our tabletop. From a tabletop, what you can do is a really good back movement asana, which is called cat-cow. We know the tabletop, our knees under the hips, our wrists underneath our shoulders, neutral spine to begin with. Then we inhale, curl our spine and look up. Exhale, arch your spine, look towards your belly button. Inhale and curl your spine and look up. Exhale, arch your spine, round your spine, look to your belly button. One more. Inhale, curl your spine and look up. Exhale, arch, round your spine and look to your belly button. Okay, so we're going to look at one more in this video. There's been a lot of asanas. I would suggest maybe that you try and maybe watch this video twice and do the movements twice. Again, there's going to be another 3 or 4 videos, so there's going to be a good 40 or 50 yoga poses that we're going to learn before we start our classes. The last one for today, or for this video, I'm sure you know it. It's our corpse pose. It's done at the end of our class quite a bit. It's where we're just trying to lie nice and still, focusing back on our breath, and just accepting everything that we've just done in the yoga class, all the energy exchange. So it's lying down, your feet are down, your palms are facing the sky. You can close your eyes in this position, focusing on your breath and just trying to keep your mind free, not letting those thoughts appear. Corpse pose. And then slowly coming up from that. So there's 13 poses that are some of the most fundamental poses that we do in a yoga class. Over the next few videos, we're going to add to those poses. And then once we've got a good understanding, like I said, we're going to put this into a class format. So give that a go, give it a second go, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.